Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Moletrap coming at you with a commentary going back a little ways to one of the OGN team battle games from a few weeks ago. I actually have a special guest commentator here with me today. I'm going to be doing a dual commentary today with Sonde. Sonde is one of the, or do you pronounce it Sonde or Sonde? How do you say it?
Sonde. Either way, though, I don't really care about Sonde. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I always forget, even though I've listened to. I brought Sonde on with me because I've listened to a lot of his commentaries. He's a really, really good new commentator. He's kind of come up in the last few months. He's been doing a lot of stuff, and just recently, our chief of new commentators, Cholera, has promoted him to front page listings, and I didn't know that he had to be promoted to that. Otherwise, I would have had him on there a long time ago. He's a really good new commentator. He's definitely improving quickly. So if you guys want to check him out, I'll put his YouTube page in the description of this video. It's SC Team Rune, so that's where he's doing his commentary. So definitely go check him out, and I'm really glad to be doing a duel with him today. We're going to be doing a match between ZeuS and ClouD, and a lot of people are like, who and who? What are you talking about? Both of these players are like really old school players that used to be, top-notch players, or at least very well known. ClouD has been around for a long time, and so has ZeuS. And they're the brand of players that used to be very good, and then they've kind of been struggling, and they haven't really had much success in a long time. So ZeuS, for instance, he's been playing 2v2 actually pretty decently. This last season, he's been doing decent as a 2v2 player, but he's only gotten, I think, one win in several appearances in the last 2 years. And same thing with ClouD. ClouD's last win was in, I think, 2006. So just to show you that's kind of what is going on here. That these are kind of these old school players. And ZeuS starting off with a pylon inside ClouD's base. So the silliness starting right off. This is actually the first game of the OGN team battle. So setting the tone for some interesting games here.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like I'm going to have too much time to have a great introduction or anything. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm here with Mole. This is Sonde here, and I'm very excited about this because I'm drinking Arizona iced tea and watching some StarCraft and commentating it. So, yeah, this is going to be very exciting. We are not wasting any time here. He does get the early scout, and he actually throws up a gateway. So, ZeuS with a gateway inside of ClouD's base here, actually a double gateway, so this is an all-in proxy strategy here. SCV's coming off the line, going to try to pick off this gateway as best they can. They might be able to get one, but this is slowing them down a lot with mining here. ClouD's going to find himself a little behind with mining, but this is all in for ZeuS here. We are not wasting any time to get straight into this game, throwing up a Rax here, but so yeah, I'm going to turn things over to Mole here to keep this going.
Yeah, this is pretty silly, and it looks like ZeuS is actually forced to cancel his first gateway. I'm not exactly sure what ZeuS is thinking right here. These proxies, they usually don't work very well unless the other guy doesn't see it, or unless you can completely out macro him. He does get one gateway up, and he's getting another gateway inside his base. I think he knows that this has failed, and I think that he's basically just keeping that one gateway there as a delay tactic, hoping he can get a cybernetics core up before that gateway gets destroyed. Yeah, so not even a zealot gets out. But in the meantime, he has, as Sonde mentioned, he's taken several SCVs off of the mineral line to destroy the gateways, and now to destroy this assimilator as well. So at the very least, hopefully for ZeuS, he's turned this into an economic thing, just by, effectively taking out 5 SCVs for the beginning of the game, and in the meantime, keeping his probe production up as well. So he's going to be a little bit of a disadvantage because this proxy failed so much, but really if you think about it, he invested 400 minerals into this, basically. And so if he was able to somehow stop that amount of minerals from coming in on ClouD's side, then it might be worth it in the long run, although I think ZeuS has some catching up to do at this point.
Yeah, and this really reminds me of, I think it was Bisu, where he actually did a proxy, and he just put him right behind the mineral line of his opponent, and I think it was Terran as well, and basically dominated him. But this proxy's not going to go off so well. Marines will be coming in here for ClouD, so ZeuS even putting up a Cybernetics core, really going all in with this. Yeah, and this is maybe what he decides he needs to do. Probably feels his 1v1 is not up to par, but now he's forced to play 1v1 after the Pro League format has changed. But actually, ZeuS is going to be coming out here with the Dragoon and Zealot, but several Marines here for Cloud, so this could be a handful for ZeuS. The proxy did fail, but that was a lot of SCVs that did come off the line, which we noted before. Now, Cloud will be killing the last pylon in his own base, so now ZeuS will be playing in the blind a little bit here, but he pretty much knows what a Terran is going to do PvT, not too crazy generally. I mean, from the Terran's perspective, it's usually the pretty standard builds. Now getting up a command center, so economically he probably feels that he knows his opponent's already behind economically, so if he can take even more of a macro lead here, then he's going to find himself in a very good situation. Actually going to be able to scout that put that scouting SCV right behind and kind of use those crystals as a hiding spot, and he's going to be able to go up the ramp and get another scout in. I'm interested to see what ZeuS is going to do here. Does he go for some kind of cheese, pushing back with his Dragoon and Zealot? But Cloud is going to be able to get this SCV up this ramp. It's all going to come down to if this Dragoon's going to be strong enough, and this Dragoon will be plenty strong enough here. Going to be able to pick off that SCV before he gets in too much of a scout, and there's really not too much to see here in ZeuS's own base just because he was so far behind. He's just putting up his Cybernex core, or his Cybernex score just went up, excuse me. But yeah, now pushing out with some goons, and so this is a crazy game, absolutely epic game. This is an exciting game to do a dual commentary on.
Yeah, this is turning out to be pretty silly in general, and it looked like, I mean, the timings are going to be a little bit off as well as something that's interesting about this game. So both players are just kind of have to adapt to what's going on and not really be able to depend on their usual timings and what have you. So even though these guys aren't really very well practiced, they still are pro gamers, obviously, and they're still going to have a really well practiced strategies and what have you. But yeah, a little bit of harassment going in here. The Dragoons managing to pick off several Marines. So nice job by ZeuS there, picking off those Marines. That little clump of Marines was really the only advantage that Cloud had at this point. And so picking off those Marines was a good thing, but those Marines did their job. They delayed long enough for that tank to get up there, and I don't think that ZeuS quite has enough Dragoons to go in there. And the Templar Archive's going down here. Wow, so we're seeing that, I think he may have even switched tech before. He put down another building oh, never mind, that was that pylon. I'm just tripping. But yeah, you're right, though, that the SCV didn't really see what was going on, so I'm not sure if Cloud is really going to expect this. In the meantime, though, ZeuS has gotten an expansion up, so he's managed, I think, to catch back up economically, since Cloud is just now getting his expansion up, and ZeuS has had his up for a little while here. So I think it's going to kind of transition back into a kind of a standard game from this point, where we're going to have a Dark Templar drop coming in, and Cloud's going to have to be forced to try and defend against that.
Yeah, and now he's going to be killing those power generators there so he can make sure there's no drop coming in from the backside. But also a side point, ZeuS probably thinking he wants to avoid late game. I mean, I don't think he feels his late game's super strong, probably because in 2v2 it's more of a micro-based game than macro. Pretty much across the board. There might be the one or two exceptions to that or whatever. But now, yeah, he opened up with a proxy here, and that pretty much failed, I think you could say. And now he's going to go straight into DT drop, and it's really just going to come up to if Cloud's going to be ready for this. He does have the missile turret at the entrance and at his natural, but that's not going to do too much for a DT drop, probably why he chose to go DT drops, not just quick DTs. And also, he probably didn't go quick DTs because they wouldn't have been too quick after filling the proxy. But Mine's going to definitely be able to help Cloud hold these DTs off.
Yeah, I think that's correct. If he had some mines around, then things would be a lot easier. But he may have some trouble holding this off. It's going to be up to ZeuS to try and find a gap in between the missile turrets. And really, there's just a kind of couple cursory missile turrets around right now. I don't think there's a lot in the way of preventing this shuttle from basically having free reign of running around wherever he wants to. Yeah, so the shuttle's going to be able to just completely bypass the turret by the entrance and dropping out Dark Templar. A comset goes out, but he picks up the Templar just in time before they were destroyed. And that one Marine is going to force that shuttle back, though, apparently. I think ZeuS probably could have gone in a little bit more and basically, try to drop out a Dark Templar, kill off that Marine. Maybe he's going to do it after all. The Dark Templar gets out, chops the Marine down. Marine sliced in half, blood everywhere. But he's got a couple comsats left, though, and I think those comsats are basically just saved ClouD completely, because without those comsats, there wouldn't have been anything that he could do to stop ZeuS from running around. I don't think it's the last we've seen of these Dark Templar. Hopefully, if ZeuS is smart, he'll run that shuttle around to the other side of the base and try and drop in a less protected location and get some damage done, because otherwise he hasn't really accomplished a lot. He hasn't done a lot of damage with these Dark Templar, and he's going to have to do something, especially since now it looks like ClouD coming out of his base with a little bit of a push, and we're going to have to see if he can use those Dark Templar and his other forces to keep this push back, because it's going to be pretty difficult.
Yeah, and here comes in ClouD for this push, and ZeuS, a number of goons, but as everyone knows, Terran siege mode and siege tanks are so strong against goons. He's going to have to be very, very smart with these Dragoons. It does look like ZeuS took his mineral only, and that E-Bay, that engineering bay, was just in the right position and really saw that shuttle came in, which made that DT drop not so effective. But actually, it looks like he's been dropping the DT a little bit, getting some quick SCV kills, and just really making it a pain for ClouD. So now he can't repair his own siege tanks, but it does look like he's just going to be basically ridging his natural or his mineral only expansion and just getting lots and lots of probe kills here. So now and that is about 4 or 5 probes that just went down, probably moving the rest of the probes away. And it does look like he's going to have to, this Nexus might fall if he can't defend against it. Lots and lots of mines going down, and maybe actually ZeuS missed his chance to attack here. You really need to, he's going to lose that expansion. That's really going to hurt him actually. So now it does look like he's going to be putting some zealots in a shuttle here and going for a zealot bombs basically, and I'm very interested to see how this is going to be. And oh, Vulture's moving right in front of it. This is just a hovering shuttle. Goliath coming out, going to be able to scare away the shuttle. He needs to drop the zealots or he's going to lose the shuttle. Shuttle goes down. One Goliath. This is one hero Goliath, really going to basically save the army of ClouD. And now a Stargate is going up, and I'm interested to see what kind of tech we are seeing here. No sign of Arbiter Tribunal or any carrier tech here. So, wow, but now it does look like ClouD is going to put up a pretty decent contain right around ZeuS.
Yeah, he is definitely contained, and ZeuS is really, really hurting right now. He's lost that 3rd base, and in the meantime, ClouD is set up to take a 4th base. Actually, ZeuS taking an expansion in the top right. He's going to try and get a hidden expansion there, and the one advantage of that expansion will be that it will also have gas. And ZeuS actually trying to go in here, trying to break this contain. There's just too many vultures. Chalrenge knows it too. There's too many vultures in the way. Zealot's not able to make contact with those tanks, and the contain is going to hold. And basically, unless ClouD lets up on his macro and reinforcing this containment here, it's going to be really difficult for ZeuS to move out. And I don't think he's even going to be able to get his mineral only set back up again. Generally, the rule of thumb is, as a Protoss, you want to have at least one expansion up over a Terran player to be kind of considered economically even. Oh no, Vulture coming in here is going to spot this expansion, take out the probe before the blockade. No, he gets a pylon in there. Very nice. So he at least gets the pylon down. He's not going to be able to run anything in there to kill the Nexus very quickly, although all he can do is produce probes, and in the way his own forces are going to be trapped from getting in there and taking out that Vulture. But so we do see an Arbiter Tribunal now, which is interesting. Yeah, so he's canceled the pylon, so he can actually get in there and hopefully save that base with this Dragoon running over. But in the meantime, though, he's running off of 2 bases, and ClouD is running off of 3, was my original point, and that's just a horrible place to be in as a Protoss.
Yeah, definitely. ZeuS is in a lot of trouble here, and I'm glad he did cancel that pylon at his top right expansion, or we were really just going to see a 5-minute battle of a Vulture trying to take down the Nexus. Dragoon coming in here, he does see that one mine, so this Vulture is really just going to try to take down this Nexus, but as everyone knows, Vultures are about the worst unit against buildings. So, but yeah, I've seen this a couple times, I guess, but as I know on Blue Storm, there is the sweet spot where a Terran really can take out the natural expansion of a Protoss, and there is a sweet spot on this Andromeda map where you can take down the crystal only, or the mineral only patch from the Protoss, so that is a nice zealot bomb there. Wow, lots and lots of mines. This contain might, but this is still a large contain. More zealots coming in, really just, he knows he needs to pick off these tanks. Without these tanks, this is going to be much easier. And lots of zealots flooding the scene here, but now he knows he has to push back. And wow, the way they were holding that screen, it looked like there was only like 1 or 2 tanks, but then they go back and then there's like 7 or 8. So really trying to trick the crowd there, I feel. It does look like he threw up an expansion in the mid left here. So yeah, and it's really unfortunate for ZeuS here. He did throw up that Arbiter Tribunal and it was spotted. Without that being spotted, Arbiters kind of came out on the field without really being prepared for maybe. Now he will have the extra Goliaths out there to take care of it, maybe throw up a missile turret or 2. Scanning, seeing the army here, there's about 4 High Templars, and hopefully, really, ZeuS is going to need some Jangbi storms, like the storms he pulled off against Nada to get himself out of this battle. He looks like he will be moving in. Goons first instead of Zealots first here, but this is a large mines, and those are some nice storms here. Psionic storms going all across the screen. All I can see is storms. Those are some nice storms, beautiful storms, more storms, and I just said storms like 10 times in 30 seconds. Now the Dark Templar is going to come out here, and hopefully ZeuS is really hoping that he's slow on the scan, but he's going to pick that right off. So actually kind of breaking the contain here, but he lost way too many units in the process. Now Vultures are flooding the scene, and ZeuS is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, ZeuS, I think this is pretty much the end for ZeuS. He's got some nice tech units going on. The Templar is doing a very, very nice job. The Arbiter in play now is going to be able to protect things even more. But I just think it's a little bit too little too late, I guess, as Klazar would say. I think he says that. Someone says that. Someone I know says that a lot. But anyway, yeah, it's just not going to be enough to hold this back, because even though he did kind of break that containment, ClouD just had too much reinforcements, and there's GG from ZeuS. So well done, the first win that ClouD has had in 2 years. Well, actually, he may have had some other show match wins that I couldn't look up, but well done on his part. I got to say, he played pretty well.
Yeah, definitely, and he kind of had an advantage, I guess you could say, with the strategy ZeuS opened up with. That definitely put him behind. Although I felt it was going to put him more behind, but he came back and kind of held it off. But then he got contained, and both players are smiling here. So this is just a game kind of for fun here. I mean, as you saw, ZeuS got up laughing almost like that was embarrassing. ... That was his face. That's what I read. But yeah, thanks a lot for doing this with me, and hopefully we can do some more duels in the future. So that's all I got.
Yeah, and again, everybody, go ahead and check out Sonde's YouTube page. I'll put the name in the video description, so go check him out and check some of his other stuff out. He's going to be doing probably. So, are you going to be doing more commentaries on the pro games coming up with the season starting up?
Yeah, for sure. Right now I'm just doing the GG no regames. It's a small SC2GG tournament for those who don't know, but that's just because there hasn't been too many pro games. But yeah, definitely Pro League, MSL, OSL, I'll try to do what I can.
Right on. All right, so check him out, and thank you guys for listening.